Time is the most precious asset you possess, yet it is also the most fleeting. Unlike money, which can be earned, saved, or invested, time is non-renewable. Once a second passes, it's gone forever. This reality makes time far more valuable than most people realize. However, the irony is that many of us treat it as though we have an unlimited supply. We squander it on trivial matters, procrastinate on meaningful pursuits, and fail to recognize its true worth until it's too late. Think about it. If someone stole your money, you'd be outraged and demand justice. But how often do we allow time to be stolen from us? By distractions, unnecessary delays, or indecision, without even noticing. Every day we're given the same 24 hours as the most successful, fulfilled, and productive people in history. The difference lies not in how much time we have, but in how we choose to use it. Valuing time means understanding its finite nature. It requires recognizing that every second of every day holds the potential to bring you closer to your goals or pull you further away from them. It's about being conscious of how you allocate your attention and energy. Many people live as though they have infinite tomorrows, putting off dreams, relationships, and growth for some vague later. But here's the harsh truth. Life offers no guarantees of a tomorrow. This year, this month, this very moment could be your last chance to make an impact, to mend a relationship, or to pursue something meaningful. The real tragedy is not in growing older, but in growing older without purpose, direction, or progress. Imagine arriving at the end of your life and realizing that you spent years focused on things that didn't matter. The time you could have invested in learning, loving, or creating something meaningful was instead spent worrying, procrastinating, or idling away in front of distractions. That's the regret of someone who didn't value time. But valuing time doesn't mean obsessively trying to fill every minute with productivity or overloading yourself with responsibilities. It means being intentional about how you use your time. It's about prioritizing the activities, people, and goals that align with your values and aspirations. Quality, not just quantity, is key. Spending an hour deeply engaged in meaningful work or connecting with loved ones is infinitely more valuable than spending the same hour scrolling through social media or engaging in mindless entertainment. Valuing time means setting boundaries. It's learning to say no to distractions, obligations, or relationships that drain your energy without adding value to your life. Time is your most precious commodity. Why give it away carelessly to things or people who don't deserve it? Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something that truly matters. Another critical aspect of valuing time is recognizing the power of the present moment. Far too often people dwell on the past or worry about the future, ignoring the opportunities that exist in the now. The past cannot be changed and the future is shaped by what you do today. By fully embracing the present, you gain the ability to act, create, and move forward. Time is only wasted when you fail to engage with it meaningfully in the moment it's happening. Valuing time means adopting a mindset of gratitude for the moments you have. Every second is a gift, an opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute to the world around you. Even the mundane moments have value when viewed through the lens of appreciation. Gratitude for time leads to mindfulness, which helps you savor each experience rather than letting life rush past you in a blur. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming your relationship with time. See it for what it is, your greatest asset, your most finite resource, and the foundation upon which your legacy will be built. The moment you begin to value time, your life will start to reflect that value in ways you never imagined. Don't wait another moment to start. Purpose is the driving force that gives life meaning and direction. It's what separates mere existence from truly living. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, like wandering in a fog with no clear destination. But when you identify your purpose, your actions become aligned, your decisions carry weight, and your days are infused with a sense of fulfillment and progress. Purpose is the compass that guides you through the complexities of life, ensuring that no matter how difficult or uncertain things become, you always have a clear sense of where you're headed and why it matters. The challenge, however, is that many people go through life without ever discovering their purpose. They conform to societal expectations, follow paths chosen for them by others, or chase goals that aren't truly their own. This disconnect leads to dissatisfaction, frustration, and a sense of being unfulfilled, even when outward success is achieved. Purpose, by contrast, so it's not something you find in a job title, a paycheck, or the approval of others. It's something deeply personal, rooted in your values, passions, and unique abilities. Living with purpose requires self-reflection and honesty. It starts with asking yourself tough questions. What truly matters to me? What impact do I want to have on the world? What activities make me feel alive, energized, and deeply connected to myself and others? The answers to these questions may not come easily, and they may change over time. But the journey of discovering your purpose is one of the most rewarding and transformative experiences you can undertake. Once you identify your purpose, the next step is to align your actions with it. This is where many people struggle. It's one thing to have clarity about what you value, but it's another to structure your life around it. Aligning your actions with your purpose often requires making difficult choices, such as letting go of habits, commitments, or even relationships that don't serve your higher calling. It means prioritizing what truly matters, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. But this alignment is essential because living out of sync with your purpose creates internal conflict and robs you of the energy and focus needed to thrive. Purpose is also what sustains you through challenges and setbacks. Life is full of obstacles, and it's easy to lose motivation or become disheartened when things don't go as planned. But when you're anchored by a strong sense of purpose, you have a reason to keep going. Purpose provides resilience because it reminds you that your efforts have meaning, even in the face of adversity. It transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and allows you to see the bigger picture rather than getting stuck in momentary difficulty. When you live with purpose, you radiate passion, commitment, and authenticity. This has a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to reflect on their own lives and pursue what matters to them. Purpose is contagious. It elevates not just the individual, but also the community, creating a shared sense of meaning and possibility. Living with purpose doesn't mean every moment of your life will feel exciting or profound. There will still be routine tasks, periods of doubt, and times when progress feels slow. But purpose ensures that even the mundane has meaning because it's connected to something greater. It allows you to find joy in the process rather than becoming fixated on the outcome. Purpose is not a destination, it's a journey. It evolves as you grow, learn, and gain new perspectives. What matters is not reaching some final point of fulfillment, but continually striving to live in alignment with what you value most. Each day becomes an opportunity to express your purpose through your actions, choices, and interactions with others. If you want to live a life that's rich, meaningful, and impactful, start by discovering your purpose. Let it guide you, inspire you, and shape the way you use your time and energy. When your actions align with your purpose, every day becomes a step toward becoming the person you're meant to be and creating the legacy you're meant to leave behind. Taking action today rather than waiting for tomorrow is the single most powerful step you can take to transform your life. The habit of procrastination is a silent thief of dreams, robbing you of opportunities, growth, and fulfillment. While it's easy to convince yourself that there will always be more time or a better moment to begin, the truth is that the perfect time rarely, if ever, arrives. The only moment you truly have control over is the one you're living in right now. The decision to act, no matter how small the step, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. Action creates momentum, and momentum is the key to progress. Many people wait until they feel ready before they start, not realizing that readiness often comes after taking the first step, not before. The act of doing generates confidence, clarity, and motivation. For instance, you might hesitate to start a new project or pursue a dream because you're unsure of the outcome. But the moment you take that initial action, whether it's writing the first paragraph, making the first call, or simply committing time to plan, you shift from inaction to progress. Delaying action has a compounding effect. The longer you wait, the more the obstacles in your mind seem to grow. You overthink, doubt yourself, and begin to believe the story that you're not ready, not capable, or that the goal isn't attainable. In reality, most of these barriers are mental, and they dissolve the moment you take action. Waiting for the stars to align or for everything to fall perfectly into place is an illusion that keeps you stuck. There will always be challenges, uncertainties, and risks, but none of them are reasons to stay idle. Taking action doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out. It's not about making giant leaps, but about taking consistent, deliberate steps in the direction of your goals. These small actions accumulate over time and lead to significant results. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, you don't need to overhaul your lifestyle overnight. These seemingly minor actions build habits, and those habits create lasting change. Action also has a way of clarifying your goals and refining your path. When you act, you gain real-world feedback. You learn what works, what doesn't, and what adjustments are needed. This clarity only comes through doing. Planning and preparing are important, but without action, they're meaningless. You could spend years perfecting a plan, but until you take the first step, it remains just an idea. Action transforms ideas into reality. Fear often holds people back from acting. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success can paralyze you. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every successful person has faced setbacks and made mistakes, but they kept moving forward. Action teaches resilience because it shows you that failure isn't the end, it's a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to growth. Another reason people hesitate to act is the belief that they need more knowledge, resources, or skills before they can begin. While preparation is valuable, it's important to remember that you don't need to have everything figured out to start. In fact, many of the resources and skills you think you lack will become available to you as you take action. Starting where you are, with what you have, is often the most effective way to move. Taking action today is also about making the most of the opportunities in front of you. Life is unpredictable, and the opportunities you have now may not be available tomorrow. Whether it's pursuing a relationship, exploring a career opportunity, or taking a step toward personal growth, acting in the present ensures that you don't miss out on what could be a life. Action is what bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's not enough to dream, hope, or plan. You must do. Each action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals and helps you build the life you desire. Time waits for no one, and every day you delay is a day you'll never get back. So take action today and let the momentum of your efforts carry you toward a future that's richer, brighter, and filled with the fulfillment of knowing you didn't let another day slip by unused. Growth is never accidental. It requires intentionality. Personal and professional development do not happen by chance. They happen because of deliberate choices, consistent effort, and a commitment to improvement. Life does not automatically reward you simply because time passes. It rewards those who actively seek to learn, grow, and push beyond their current limits. Without intentionality, you risk stagnation, remaining in the same place year after year while opportunities and potential pass you by. Growth requires focus, effort, and the willingness to step out of your comfort zone. Intentionality begins with clarity. You must first define what growth means to you. Is it advancing in your career, improving your relationships, gaining new skills, or enhancing your emotional well-being? Without a clear vision, it's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life without making meaningful progress. Growth becomes a byproduct of external circumstances rather than a purposeful journey. When you are clear about your goals, however, you can align your actions and decisions with the outcomes you desire, ensuring that your energy is directed toward what truly matters. One of the most important aspects of intentional growth is the ability to prioritize. In a world filled with distractions and competing demands, it's easy to get sidetracked by things that feel urgent but are ultimately unimportant. Growth requires discipline, the ability to say no to distractions and yes to the things that contribute to your development. This might mean dedicating time each day to reading, practicing a skill, or engaging in activities that challenge you to think differently. It also involves creating an environment that supports your goals, whether that means surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, seeking mentorship, or removing obstacles that hinder your progress. Growth also demands consistency. It's not about making one grand effort or achieving a single milestone. It's about committing to the process of improvement over time. Small, incremental actions, when taken consistently, lead to significant results. This concept is often overlooked because the results are not immediately visible. However, just as a tree grows slowly but steadily with proper care, so too does personal development flourish through persistence. Consistency builds habits, and habits shape who you become. A willingness to embrace discomfort is another hallmark of intentional growth. Growth and comfort rarely coexist. Whether it's taking on a challenging project, learning a new skill, or confronting your fears, stepping outside your comfort zone is essential for progress. Discomfort is a sign that you're stretching yourself, and while it may be uncomfortable in the moment, growth requires you to trade short-term comfort for long-term fulfillment. Feedback is a crucial tool in the growth process. Intentional growth means being open to constructive criticism and using it as a roadmap for improvement. While it can be difficult to hear feedback, especially when it highlights areas for improvement, it provides valuable insights that can accelerate your development. Seeking out mentors, coaches, or trusted peers who can offer honest guidance is a powerful way to stay on track and ensure that your efforts are effective. Self-reflection is another essential element of intentional growth. Growth is not just about doing more, it's also about understanding yourself better. Taking time to reflect on your experiences, successes, and challenges allows you to identify patterns, learn from mistakes, and adjust your approach. This intentional pause creates space for deeper self-awareness and helps you align your actions with your values and goals. So, the pursuit of growth also requires patience and perseverance. Progress is rarely linear and setbacks are inevitable. There will be moments when it feels as though your efforts are yielding little result. However, growth often happens beneath the surface, much like a seed germinating in the soil before breaking through. Trusting the process and remaining committed to your goals, even when progress seems slow, is essential. Intentional growth transforms not just what you achieve, but who you become. It's about evolving into the best version of yourself by consistently seeking improvement in every area of life. Growth is not a destination, but a lifelong journey, and every step you take with intention brings you closer to realizing your full potential. By making the choice to grow deliberately, you take control of your future, ensuring that you don't leave your development to chance, but instead create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and continuous advancement. Every year of your life is a building block in the legacy you leave behind. The choices you make, the actions you take, and the priorities you set all contribute to the story of your life. While it's easy to think of legacy as something that only matters in the distant future, the truth is that you are shaping it right now. Each year is an opportunity to make progress, leave an impact, and move closer to the person you aspire to be. However, if a year passes without intentional action, it's not just time lost, it's a piece of your legacy left unfulfilled. Legacy isn't about fame, wealth, or grand achievements, though those things can be part of it. At its core, legacy is about how your life influences others and contributes to something greater than yourself. It's the values you live by, the relationships you nurture, and the impact you have on your community and the world. Whether large or small, your legacy is built in the everyday decisions that reflect what you stand for and how. One of the most critical realizations about legacy is that it's created incrementally, not in dramatic, one-time events. While certain milestones or accomplishments may stand out, it's the consistency of your actions over time that defines the essence of your life. A single year might seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but when you think of how much can be accomplished in 12 months, how many lives can be touched, goals achieved, and lessons learned, it becomes clear that every year holds immense potential to shape your story. Yet many people let years slip by without much thought about the bigger picture. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of daily life, focusing on short-term tasks and distractions while losing sight of long-term priorities. The danger in this is that time has a way of passing unnoticed until it's gone. You look back and wonder where the time went, only to realize that you didn't use it to create the kind of life or impact you wanted. This is why it's so important to be intentional about how you approach each year. Creating a meaningful legacy starts with clarity about what matters most to you. What values do you want to embody? What goals are most important? What kind of impact do you want to have on the people around you? Answering these questions gives you a sense of direction and helps you align your actions with your priorities. Without this clarity, it's easy to drift through life, reacting to circumstances rather than actively shaping your future. Every year also presents an opportunity to reflect on your progress and adjust your course. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for ensuring that your life aligns with your values and aspirations. By looking back on the year that has passed, you can identify what worked, what didn't, and what changes are needed to make the next year more meaningful. This process allows you to grow and evolve while staying true to your vision for the legacy you want to build. It's important to recognize that your legacy isn't just about major accomplishments, it's also about the small, everyday ways you show up in the world. The kindness you extend to others, the integrity you display in your actions, and the love you give to those around you all contribute to the impact you leave behind. These moments may seem minor at the time, but collectively they create a lasting impression on the people whose lives you touch. Every year is an opportunity to write a new chapter in your story. Whether you're just starting to think about your legacy or have been intentional about it for years, there is always room to grow, evolve, and make a difference. The key is to treat each year as a gift, a chance to live with purpose, pursue meaningful goals, and leave the world a little better than you found it. Your legacy isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create with every choice and every action. By viewing each year as a building block of your legacy, you ensure that your time is spent in ways that truly matter. You can't control how much time you have, but you can control how you use it, and that makes all the difference. Time is the most precious resource you have, yet it's also the one most often taken for granted. Unlike money, which can be earned, or possessions which can be replaced, time is finite and irreplaceable. Once a moment has passed, it is gone forever. This reality makes how you choose to spend your time one of the most critical decisions you face every single day. Yet many people move through life as though time is endless, putting off dreams, goals, and meaningful experiences, only to look back later with regret at the opportunities they let slip away. Understanding the value of time and using it wisely is the key to creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and lasting impact. One of the reasons people often undervalue their time is that its passage feels so gradual. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, almost without notice. It's easy to believe there will always be more time to accomplish your goals or pursue what matters most. But time moves forward relentlessly, and every moment that isn't spent intentionally is a moment you will never get back. Recognizing this truth should inspire urgency, not panic, but a deep awareness of the importance of making the most of every day. Using time wisely doesn't mean you have to be constantly productive or busy. In fact, equating busyness with value is one of the biggest traps people fall into. True productivity is about aligning your time with your values and priorities, not filling it with endless tasks. It's about focusing on what truly matters. Whether that's nurturing relationships, pursuing personal growth, contributing to your community, or working toward long-term goals. Wasting time doesn't just mean doing nothing. It can also mean spending time on things that don't add value or meaning to your life. Clarity is essential when it comes to valuing your time. Without a clear sense of what you want to achieve or what's most important to you, it's easy to drift through life reacting to circumstances rather than intentionally shaping your future. When you know your priorities, you can make decisions about how to spend your time with confidence. This clarity also helps you say no to distractions, obligations, or activities that don't align with your goals, freeing up time for the things that truly matter. Another important aspect of valuing your time is recognizing the opportunity cost of your choices. Every time you say yes to one thing, you are by default saying no to something else. For example, spending hours scrolling through social media or watching television may seem harmless in the moment, but it comes at the expense of time that could have been spent learning a new skill, connecting with loved ones, or taking steps toward a dream. Being mindful of how you invest your time ensure that it aligns with your long-term aspirations and values. Valuing your time also means being present in the moment. Too often people get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future, neglecting the opportunities that exist right now. Being fully present allows you to make the most of the time you have, whether you're working toward a goal, enjoying a meaningful conversation, or simply savoring life's small joys. It's also important to remember that time is not just about quantity, but quality. How you spend your time determines the richness of your life. You could have a packed schedule, but still feel unfulfilled if your time isn't spent on meaningful activities. Conversely, a single hour spent doing something you love or connecting deeply with someone can leave a lasting impact. Focusing on quality over quantity ensures that the time you have is truly well lived. Valuing your time means treating it as the limited and precious resource it is. This mindset encourages you to act with intention and urgency rather than putting off what's important. It reminds you that life is happening now, not at some distant point in the future. Whether it's pursuing a dream, telling someone you love them, or simply taking a step towards self-improvement, the best time to act is today. Time is a gift, and how you use it shapes the life you create. When you understand its value, you begin to see each day, each hour, and each moment as an opportunity to move closer to your goals, strengthen your relationships, and live with purpose. By treating your time as precious, you ensure that you don't look back one day with regret over wasted opportunities, but instead with pride in a life well lived. Augustus made Tay Dip,